Well, this may be of interest to some of you. This is the Mackie desk I've been using all this time, the one with all the problems with the gain. Trim pots, the first thing that this goes into. They were noisy and they were cutting out sometimes. So I took all those off and sprayed them. I had to do it twice. But each time I sprayed them, the second time I sprayed them 3 times. Twice with switch cleaner, just where I could down the shaft, and then with a final spray of switch cleaning lubricant, because that's what they say, because they're meant to turn. I want to get dry. So eventually I thought, I'm done with sorting that out. And then these started to get noisy, or, so you think, oh, something's going on there. What's this? And you touch it and it would, and then, I don't use the aux. Then, that one. And then the pan, sometimes one side, I think, is it louder than, you couldn't rely on it really. So I ended up doing the lot, taking all those knobs off, spraying them 3 times. Just thought, I'm going to do it. And then the mute knobs, because they were getting noisy, noisy as well. And then the sliders. And I did all these as well. Don't use that, so I left that alone. Did every knob that I could. I thought I'm going to be done with this. And I was done with it. Working fine. Then I left it on for a day and a half, maybe even 2 days. I went, just plugged in, switched on, and forgot to switch it off. Came back, various lights on and flashing. Thought, oh, that doesn't look good. No sound whatsoever. Switched it off. Switched it back on. Same thing. So I thought that's the end of that. In the meantime, I went and got this. Model 12. Then I had this. I wondered, let me have a look. So I looked online, blah, blah, blah. Found the distributors who were in London. And they said, yeah, bring it in. We'll post it. I went on the train. I could get there on the tube. Took it in. Left it with them. They got back in touch and said, it's a diode in the power supply. The diode is £4, but unfortunately the repair's £100. So I went ahead and did it, because what am I going to do? Either throw it away, try and sell it, spares or repair, I suppose. I looked at them second hand, and somebody's asking £120 for one. So I just spent 100 having it repaired. So maybe if I get 100, 120, I've got my repair money back, or keep it as a spare. I don't know. Anyway, this is a different beast, the Model 12. And it's taking me some learning. It's got an SD card. This one was USB into an old laptop called the Northern Netbook, actually running Windows XP, Audacity, and it would shove the WAV there. Then I'd take the WAV and edit it on another machine over there. So that's all that XP machine does. It's a small thing, just sat there and ran Audacity. It crashed every now and then, which would be very irritating if I hadn't noticed and I had to do the video again. So we're looking at the differences really. This has the SD card in there. Hasn't crashed at all. We haven't used it that much. Bit of a learning curve, because tell you something here is rather strange. I got back on the phone to Anton's in Guildford, where I bought it from, because I was doing some stuff going about between the muting here, as you do with the microphones, from one to the other. And when I listened back, all the mics were on at the same time. So the muting didn't seem to make any difference. It did in the headphones, but listening back, it didn't. So I haven't quite figured it out. But what it seems to be is that this records everything. Even I recorded once without that channel lit up. I've forgotten that. So things to remember. This one was simpler in some ways. But it seems to have recorded it anyway. So I get the impression that it records everything onto multi-track. And then when you want to listen back to what you've done with panning and EQ and volume adjustments and stuff, you have to press SD main mix return, can you believe? And so basically it seems to record everything, and also being a computer basically, it records everything you're doing with those sounds, and you can have that as a mix down, or you can just export the raw stuff, it seems, to a DAW, to a computer, and then you can do the muting and the EQ and all the rest of it on there. So that seems to me to be the way it's going. I haven't quite figured it out. I mean, so all this, obviously this stuff didn't work with the muting, so I was going to take it back to Anton's, and we had a long discussion. I rang him back, and between us, we kind of thought, no, I think you can hear the muting in the headphones, but it's not recording it until you are not applying it, until you do that, or export it as a multi-track mix. That seems to be the thing. Anyway, I didn't really realise what it was. Advantages, there are some, I guess, really. First of all, by not using the computer, it's off. So there isn't that slight fan noise. It wasn't much, but just a little bit of background noise. So this obviously is silent. It's got more inputs. This one, as you can see, only has the 4, which was fine mostly. But every now and then, I wished I had a couple more to have some more mics going at the same time. This has obviously got another 4 there. So it's got 8. That's useful. This is useful in that, yes, it's got 10K. That was 12K. Don't know the difference between it. Here's a 10K. Here's a 10K. Here's a 10K. Sounds quite sweet. That's a 10K fully up. That's a 10K taken off on the Earthworks SV33. It's got the bass at 80 Hertz, which the old one had at 80 Hertz. You can hear there. And then I'm taking the bass off. It's there. What is additionally useful is it's got a swept mid. This one, the mid was 2.5K. This one, it goes from 100 to 8, plus or minus. So if I'm going to plus here, wherever I am, round about the middle, and this is here taking it up to the 8, so we can get through into the presence band, which is, I'm guessing, is about there. On there, I can go even higher, that's up to 8, but you can hear around about the 5 and 6 is the presence band, whereas the other one just had that rather boxy 2.5. And also I've got some lower stuff, 100 Hertz, which might be quite useful on some mics for playing with them. That's an advantage. Make sure I put 0 the desk, because you know what's going to happen. Yes, that's an advantage. Having a light on the mutes is an advantage, because these lights are not mute, they're overload. So these, you had to kind of look from the side to see what that one I thought was muted, and it's not. Yeah, you see what I mean even now. It's not quite obvious whether they're muted or not. So that's an advantage. This is an advantage. It's my old Roland foot pedal. 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 Very easy to switch on and off. This one, it's there, and it's got a light, but the angle I had the desk at with this hand, often I'd miss it. So it's nice that it's got that. That's very easy. It's not normally there. It's normally right just here, so you just tap it. No problems at all. There we go. Anything else? Just let me look through my list. A bit more faff, maybe. This one, straight into Audacity. Everything very manual. It is what it is. Nothing hidden that it applies later. And then from Audacity, I take it to another computer, take the WAV and edit it. This one, right into the card as it is now, I hope. Then when I stop, I need to export that as a file within on the SD card. This is connected to that laptop, which is off at the moment. I could take the SD card out. I don't know what you think. Keep taking SD cards out. Are they meant for that? I don't know. Maybe they are. I get the impression obviously meant to be taken out, but I don't know if they're meant to be taken out every time. There's that mechanism where it feels, I don't know. Anyway, I just figured, you know what? I'll leave it there. It's connected to the computer. The computer's off. At the end of the session, when I've done whatever I want to do there, I'll switch the computer on and just take the file to the computer, and then I use it when I move it with this USB extension thing. So if this gets worn out, it doesn't really matter. It's got loads of them. So I just get a USB stick and take it from the computer onto that. I could just take that out. I have to stick that in the computer anyway. So, I mean, it's a bit of extra faff putting it there and then onto a thumb drive. Anyway, so not a review of this by any means, but just to let you know what's happened. So this is working fine, it seems. What to do with it? Maybe, anyway, that's the update of the Mackie and my little overview of the Model 12 for my purposes. Okay, see you next time.